What? Oh, right, I'm supposed to do an intro, aren't I? Well, whatever. So, first off, this is a stand-in for my loot crate rant. I already recorded that video. However, there's some editing I need to do. Not actual editing, but I need to remove my email from the screen in that video, because I was a dumbass. So, yeah. I'm not sure when you guys should expect that video to come out, but it will definitely be coming. So, first things first, I will actually jump cut this, but okay, in case you're wondering what that jump cut was about, I just slightly soundproofed my room. Slightly, it's not really that much. Okay, if you're wondering what's about the suit, by the way, I have an interview today, and it's kind of early, actually. And this hat will not be what I'm wearing. As a matter of fact, I don't really want to wear that hat right now anyways. I'm getting kind of hot just wearing the suit. But anyways, this is not really a rant video or a tip video. Well, I guess it is kind of a tip video. That's really all it is. And it's not a tip on how to be bad, it's not a tip on how to be good at music either. It's just a tip on how to do music in general. Tips on things musicians keep in their minds. Bah. I hate cameras. I think we've established this in one of my last videos. I don't remember which one, but either way, it was probably a log. First off, you may notice what I've been doing pretty much the whole beginning of this video, putting emphasis on this. Water. Drink it. If you're a vocalist, this stuff is important. But even if you're not a vocalist, this stuff is still important. It keeps you alive. But if you're a vocalist, it is very important to drink the stuff. It'll keep it your throat very smooth, and keep talking a lot easier. You need to stay hydrated if you're going to be a vocalist. But on the flip side of that, vocalists also have the go ahead to drink coffee and tea, which are actually dehydration drinks. But why do they have this get away with? Well, I'm gonna say for studio performances and just before shows. But once you're in the show, nothing but water. Why? Because these drinks actually soothe the vocal cords, so it's a lot easier to sing. Personally, I'm a coffee addict, so I drink both coffee and water constantly. So, yeah. If I haven't been drinking anything constantly, you'll hear it in my voice. Trust me. It gets muddy. Also, vocalists. Believe it or not, having your lips very smoothed out is very important. So not only is water going to help you with this, which is another reason water is super important. And I'm just going to take a drink of water every time I reference water. But also, you're going to want to wear lip balm a lot. It'll keep your lips really moist, slippery, I guess. Basically, it makes it easier to form your mouth to form words. Which, by the way, in case if you haven't noticed, because I am a bit of a vocalist, I've never claimed to be a good one, provided, but I am good enough to hold my own as a vocalist. But where was I going with this? Okay. But, yeah, in case you're wondering, I do occasionally have an accent that isn't Michigan. That is because, vocalists have to form their mouths, basically, to pronounce words without certain vowels. The big one being R's. So, Yeah, I just broke that whole accent thing right there by saying R's the way I did. Because I said it so deep that I'm going R. Vocalists don't do that. Vocalists are supposed to be as soft under vocals as possible. So when they say their R's, it's more like a AR type of thing, but take off the R. So you hear only a slight accented R, ah. So, yeah. That's also how you kind of do a British accent. Anyways, let's move on to the guitar. And I'm actually already breaking one of the things you should do with guitar, and that is tune before you play. I don't tune very often before play. I just check the tuning. I would recommend, if you're going to do that, get songs in certain tunings that you love to play the shit out of, to be your checking points. Basically what they do is they're little riffs that you can audibly hear what you're always playing. You're always listening to a song. You listen to these songs quite often. My personal song for or the song that I use to check tuning for E standard is what was it? Excuse me while I think for a second, because I know what it is. It's by Say We Can Fly. Distance That Took You Away is my personal. Distance That Took You Away by Say We Can Fly is my personal E standard check. So, yeah. And yes, you can play standing up if you... Okay, here's another thing that I need to point out. If you're picking out your guitar, this is not a standard acoustic. I do have a standard acoustic, but it's out of commission and it's been needing repair since I pretty much got it. I got it used, or somebody gave it to me, so... And I've been meaning to take it to Guitar Center and get it fixed for a long time. But either way, also Guitar Center is a good place to fix. This guitar has been through a lot. You can ask Matt Moore, honestly. He's seen me with this guitar going through a lot. I mean, there was one hell of a fall I took with this guitar, and he's actually a person that suggested I go to Guitar Center to get it repaired. It was a lot cheaper than I was expecting, and they did a pretty good job, except for, yeah. And I'm sure the camera's not going to pick it up, but there is some remnants of the crack, but I can't blame them for that. I wouldn't be too surprised if the fretboard cannot be readjusted, which is something that needs to be done, I'd say, about once a year with guitars. They go through a lot in temperature changes. But what I would suggest doing if you are a guitarist is, if you've only got money for one guitar, don't get an electric, don't get an acoustic. Get either an electric acoustic, which is an acoustic guitar that looks like an electric guitar, and has the option to be played like an electric guitar. Or what this is an acoustic electric. Again, it's just the difference in the naming is the body type. Like, this is obviously an acoustic body type, but over at my grandparents', my grandfather has an electric acoustic, and that thing is freaking awesome. I've played that quite a bit. It's a Taylor. So once you have that, if it comes with one of these, and by the way, this one needs a new battery, but if it comes with one of these, which is an auto tuner, it's not going to turn on without something to be plugged into it. This is where this comes in. I cut this off from an old cord that broke on me. Now obviously I had to tape up the end, but the reason why is because it unscrews and reveals the cords here. So even at the end the cords were still there, so I had to tape up the end. But still, what you do is you plug that in. It still has the ability to finish the circuit even though there's loose cords, because all it's really looking for when it does that circuit is the circuit is built to latch onto metal, not exactly the cords. So the metal itself is what's finishing the circuit. With that, you can turn on your tuner and start. Whoa, careful. Tuning. Like I said, this one's in need of a battery change, so I've been using other tuners. Speaking of which, if you don't have money for a tuner or do not have a built-in tuner, a great replacement, and I've been using this constantly, I still need to get a new tuner, but a great replacement is this free app called Guitar Tuna. There you go, it's opening up. Unfortunately, with this, you have to pay money in order to do other tunings. So, how do you get around that? Well, personally, if you train your ear well enough, you can also do this with E standard. I used to be able to do it with E standard, but I've gone back to tuners for E standard again because I can't hear that difference, or I can't hear the fact that that's the same note anymore. But with drop D tuning, all you need to do is play these at the same time. You hear how they don't sync? Just start dropping your tuning until they sync. You'll have to strum constantly. And again, this is where that checking thing that I was talking about comes into play. Obviously it's not in tune, so let's try that again. My drop D check song is Monster by Skillet. At least that's the one that I normally turn to. I've also got, I can't remember its name, but I know it's by 3 Days Grace. Let me think for a second. You'll probably recognize it by the tune. Shoot. If you recognize that song by 3 Days Grace, you'll know what it is. Somebody could probably leave it in the comments. I don't know. It's not one that I listen to very often, but I do have that riff memorized. I do not, by the way, have that song in my to learn list. It's not in my journal or anything. I looked it up on guitar. See, I haven't gone to this place in forever. UltimateGuitar.com, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, I haven't been to that place in forever. All my stuff that I've been learning off of is already copied to Google Docs. On top of that, I have an actual guitar teacher, which is my grandfather. Also, if you're a guitar player and you're learning by yourself, yes, Ultimate Guitar is awesome, but it's not the only thing that's awesome. And I kind of wish I had my screen share on right now, but I am recording this on my camera. So instead, oh, wait. No, I don't want to do that. Let's open up a new tab. I have it bookmarked. If you ever come across a chord that you do not recognize, or shoot, it's broken. I'm not sure if it's no longer existent or if it's just because I've got a lot of internet usage going on right now. But the name of the website is chordbook.com. Basically what the site is whenever you make a note... One sec, let me turn this back to E standard. Okay, anyways. So if you come across a note that you don't recognize, for me, the first time I heard this note, no, not this note, this one, I had no clue what it was, or didn't hear it, but I saw it. Had no idea what it was. I went to, or rather, I didn't go to, my grandfather had this website open, and he was using it to completely map out a song that he was trying to learn to play. And when I was, or no, that's not what it was. I was talking to him. He's the one who introduced me to this website. I was trying to learn a song. I saw a note that I didn't recognize. Or was it? I can't remember exactly what happened. But somehow this note came up and my grandfather looked it up for me. And we found out it was C minor 7th. At least I believe it was C minor 7th. I know it's an A7th in some songs, because this is also an E7th, and this is really just a variation of the note all the way. Basically, you take this note and scooch it all the way up to a different chord, and by the way, that's a song that most people wouldn't recognize. I'm sure some people would, but that's my variation of the song anyways. Most people play it in a weird way that I really hate. Here's how most people play that song. I hate that. I like this much better. Excuse me. It's just got so much more feeling to it. Okay, another thing. Well, here's something for you beginners that are watching this. If you're having trouble learning the tuning patterns, don't have a guitar or something that's got them written out, here's something simple. Ah, shoot. Okay. Let me just put that down so that way you guys can see what chord I'm strumming. Eat a damn good breakfast every day. EADGBE. Simple as that. Sorry, that's just something I had to get out of the way. I mean, I've been playing guitar for a long time, and holy crap, my tie lock was lost a long time ago, wasn't it? Oh well. I need to find a different one to put on anyways. That one is clip-on. So, what else do we got? I was gonna... Okay, so, I know somebody else did a video on this recently, but muting is important. If you want to play horrible, just never mute. Never. Especially if you're playing electric guitar. But if you want to sound good, mute. Now, I can't teach you complete muting techniques, but most of my songs that I've written consist of power chords, which, by the way, you do not have to go to drop D to do a power chord. I know a lot of people like to do so. I personally haven't really done that. I mean, I do have drop D for certain songs, but I do two different types of variations of power chords when I go to drop D, and that is the 3-bar and the what I like to call the power chord bar, or not power chord bar, the power chord position, which is simply, and this is going to be demonstrated on B second, so that way you guys can see, B second power, I should say. A, you've got your first finger. For B second, it would be on the second fret. Or excuse me, A. On your A chord, you've got your finger on the second fret. For the for the D chord, your second finger is going to be on the fourth fret. As for the chord right underneath it, same thing with your fourth finger. Your second finger is out of the way. You can use it to either mute the bottom strings and top string at the same time. Or, excuse me, you're using your rest of your first finger to mute your bottom strings and your top finger to mute your top string. So the top string now sounds like this. Bottom strings sound like that. The only strings that you can hear are the strings being played. That was a mistake. Okay. What I like about this chord shape is it moves easy. But of course, I like to... Oh, that's another thing you can do with this power chord is if you take off your top finger, it becomes a completely new note. But that's because of another variation of power chord, which is the 2-chord power chord, which can be played in pretty much any way possible. And I do mean any way possible. As long as there's 2 strings being held, it's called a power chord. There are few things that don't work with it, but for the most part, if you've got 2 strings being held, that's a power chord. I've found certain power chords to be more useful than others, but still, the only few 2-string held chords that aren't considered power chords are what you learn in basic chords, which are things like, I'm not sure if this is D sus or D second, depends on who you are, I guess. E minor 7th, which can be played without this, but I prefer to play it with that. Or you can also play one-fingered. Yeah, pretty simple stuff. If you haven't noticed, I'm more of a guitar guy, so maybe we should move on. Also, I would help you guys out with your amp, but personally, I recommend going to certain channels that talk about amp setups, as long as they don't say nothing but gain. As long as they don't say that, you're good. But as for keyboard over here, I don't think I have much to help you with. I mean, it's a very simple instrument. Most of it you can do just by ear. I mean, obviously not completely by ear, but still, you know the gist I'm getting at. I would say don't exactly overdo your suspension pedal, but definitely use it. Because, well, with this keyboard right here, I don't have any choice but to either always have it on or always have it off. I'm not even sure which it is, since the suspension is so well done on this keyboard. I mean, obviously, if it's on, it's going to be held. There was one time I heard it being held, I was like, holy crap! Because I do have a foot pedal on this keyboard, but it doesn't ever seem to be used. You know? Like, even if I'm using it, I don't hear it being used. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Here's something interesting. And I'm sure you've already got this, but still, I'm going to say it. Keyboard. Definitely the better instrument to learn. Better than vocals, better than guitar, better than any instrument you can think of. Why? Because it is every instrument. Well, I guess not better than vocals. I mean, you can do vocals with it, but you can't do vocals with lyrics, so... And then somebody's going to rig that up and prove me wrong. Because you can customize your own sets if you really want to. Would I do that? No. I'm just good enough to record music, which, by the way, there are some good recording apps as well. Audacity and Cool Edit Pro are the ones that I use. However, I haven't used Audacity for music too much. I've used it for intros, which, if you guys haven't seen my last Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga video, you'll know that the last time I tried using it for music, that was a disaster. At least, kinda. I mean, it came out good, but not really. But what I do with Cool Edit Pro is I record my music on a video with my iPad, and then put my iPad into a I've got this cord that plugs into the ear jacks, and then I can plug that into the mic on this computer, and I record my music on this computer over here, and then put it onto a thumb drive, and from there I've got the power to move it anywhere I want. Ooh. This, by the way, thumb drives, you'll probably want a lot of them if you do music, and more than music in my case. Why? Because you're probably gonna take up a lot of storage with just music. I still have all my music files on here, but I have them also backed up here, which, by the way, if it's loosely formatted, you're going to want to upload them as fast as you can to a site to sell them. Sell your songs. So, yeah. I don't think I can give you guys any tips on music writing, unfortunately. But I will move on to my final segment here. And that would be fingernails. Now, obviously, since I'm stuck mostly doing guitar and vocals, I don't really care too much for my fingernails with my keyboard. And if you can't tell, my right fingers, which I use for picking, are still long. Well, long in the sense that I have cut them recently in order to not hurt myself. Or my guitar, for that matter. But I also gotta keep my fingernails kind of short in the same time, you know. It's because I do a lot of multiple things. Also notice I didn't touch any percussion. That is because I don't have any tips for percussion. Percussion's too easy. Most percussionists, okay, let me tell you, if you're a percussionist, just learn by ear. Get somebody who knows percussion already to teach you a little bit on percussion, tell you the most important things to know about it, and you will find the simple stuff really difficult, trust me. I started out doing some I started out doing complicated complicated beats on my djembe, and then when I started doing basic stuff, I was like, this is too easy. So, yeah. Like I said, percussion is way too easy. The complicated stuff is easy. And is easier to learn first than the easy stuff. So, I mean, you can learn the easy stuff first if you really want, but you'll learn slow. So, if you want to learn fast. I mean, I learned within less than a year. Less than a summer. Like 1 or 2 weeks is all I took. And I was already playing almost to par with my friend Josh. Who, by the way, is so experted that he has fun with playing his djembe. And I do mean too much fun. He'll make fun of audience members. He's done it to me. While playing his djembe. He's gone down to the audience while having a djembe solo. Took my hand, started pounding my hand against it, and then he was like, "Eh, you're playing too hard." But either way, back to fingernails. So, yeah, short on, if you're a guitarist, short on left hand, long on right hand. My pastor, who also plays guitar, claims that his guitar's teacher had such long right fingernails that they were actually about that long. It's like, holy crap. Now, I actually keep my right fingernails contained, but only because I play more than just guitar. With a keyboard over there, you want it all short. Again, I don't bother with keyboard too much. Which, by the way, another thing I forgot is keep your fingers up. Unless you're really trying to, unless you really have a reason to have your hand down here, this is not ideal. This is. Also, if you want to sound jazzy, you can always slip off of the black keys. Anyways, I think that's all I can really give for musical advice right now. All that comes off the top of my mind. Oh, and remember, water! Drink it! I cannot believe I just did a whole rant on this. Or can this be considered a rant? I cannot believe I just gave off so much free tips over nothing. And just stall for time. Though, speaking of stalling for time and music, I actually do have my album in the works again. I know it's been a while, but I have been working on it recently, so don't worry, it's still coming. I just need to figure out a platform I trust to upload it to and sell it on. I might see if I can get iTunes to do that for me. But yeah, I still got some music left to record and all that, so it won't be for a little while. Anyways, if you guys like that video, please leave a like. I'm not going to say subscribe because this is not a normal thing that I do. A normal thing that I do is video games. I mean, Fridays are pretty much my free day. Talk about whatever I want, do whatever I want for the channel thing. So if you want to stick around and see what shenanigans I have planned for Fridays, I mean, I guess subscribe. If you want to see me play video games, you can also subscribe, I guess. I don't know. Shameless self-promotion, I guess. I don't know. Don't hate me. Anyways, if you like that, please leave a like, and if you want to see any of what I've just said I do on this channel, subscribe. I do have some voice acting channels in the works, but I'm not going to ask you guys to subscribe to that or check. Well, I will give you guys the one of the channel's names, because it's not just voice acting, it's going to be acting and all that as well, and that is Jagyoshi. Go check that out if you really want to. It's not completely in the works yet, as you can tell if you watch any of my previous videos, but it's getting close. Very close. I say that, and then it's probably going to take like a year before I actually start it. But since I'm interviewing for a job today, hopefully not. Hopefully it takes less time than that. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. That is, if you watch the next video. If you just came here for the free tips, then I guess if you decide to come across one of my next videos, then see you there. But if not, hope you liked my video. I don't know. Hope you learned something and got something out of this video. Okay, this intro's gone on too long now. I'm ending it.